Hello guys, girls, and welcome to another video tutorial brought to you by MappersUnited.com. My name is Blackjack Johnny, and today we're going to be taking a look at portaling. Yes, I know what you're thinking, another portaling video? Really? Do we need one? Well, we're coming back to it for a very good reason, and that good reason is a new technique, and a technique for creating outdoor portals specifically. This new technique was brought to us by Paolo88, level designer for Treyarch Studios, and it was a complete revelation to me, yet another one that he's brought to us. And it's basically about building portal cells using one single brush. And if we just take a look at our example map, we can see that if you're familiar with the previous tutorials that I've done a small series of video tutorials talking you through from the very beginning, theory, etc, etc. So if you haven't taken a look at those, please go ahead, otherwise you're going to be very confused during this video. You can check those out either on the Mappers United media pages, the Mappers United's wiki, or the Mappers United YouTube page, and I'll post links to all of those places underneath the link on this video. Also, this map file will be made available. This map file was actually put together by Paolo88 himself. He did the portaling for it. I'll also post a link so you can download and take a look at that, and this was created for World at War. However, you should be able to load it into a previous version of Radiant. The only thing that should be missing is textures, so you should be able to take a look at it, but if not, this was built for World at War. Anyway, taking a look at this example map, you should recognize this as an outdoor portal cell using the old-fashioned or traditional 8-unit brushes to create the cell. We've got multiple brushes actually to create a portal cell doing it this way, and that's one of the reasons why this new technique is fantastic. And if I just filter out our 8-unit brushes and bring in the new technique, you can see exactly what's going on. If I select this brush and lift it up, you can see that this entire brush is creating one portal cell, and that's the technique we're going to be taking a look at. So strap in, get excited, because we're about to do some portaling, baby. So I've got rid of all those portals, and we're going to start again and take a look at this process. Of course, the first thing we need to do is make our textures bigger, because Jesus H Christ, they're small. So let's come up to textures, window scale. I'm going to make mine 50. Nothing to do with anything, but if you find that useful, sweet as. Portal no draw texture, and we're going to build our first cell. I'm going to build it in this area here in front of the house, so I'm just going to drag out a brush, and I'm just going to line it up with the edge of our building, and all the same rules apply as our previous tutorials. All the same theory, all still apply. It's just a new technique for creating the actual cell. And you'll notice down here I've actually gone through a structural brush. You might be thinking that would be a problem, but as long as it doesn't pass through another portal brush, you should be okay. With that in place, making sure and checking that it's the correct height and everything, let's deselect now and apply the crucial portal texture. Which faces? We've got to apply it to this face and this face. Bang! That portal cell is done. To make sure, let's filter out our portal no draw and check for leaks. Yep, perfectly fine. That is how quick you can make a portal cell using this technique, and that's just another reason why this technique is so much better than the old clunky way of doing it. The next thing we're going to do actually is angle the face of this brush away slightly. We're going to talk about the reasons for that now. Simply put, if we come into this building and put ourselves in the position of the player, of course we know that portaling is to cull portions of the map that the player cannot see, and if we bring that face back to where it was, from this angle, if I bring it all the way back, from this angle we can clearly see the face of this brush here. So any portal cell that we draw in this direction will also be drawn. We can minimize that by angling the face of this brush away, and we can clearly see now that this structural brush is blocking our view of anything beyond this point. So any cell we draw beyond here will not be drawn from this angle. Of course, that gets a little bit more complicated when you start thinking about it from various different angles, and that will also get a lot harder when we come to a more complex map situation. But we're going to take a look at that a little bit later on, and we're going to be taking a look at that in a custom map for COD4 that was created by Cold Air, or Air Rakic, and it was a conversion of the Black Ops map Nuketown. I worked on that project for doing the portaling, and Cold Air was gracious enough to give us permission to show it in this tutorial as an example, so thank you to him for that. But now we're just going to continue on and build some cells, and just to demonstrate really how quick this can be. So I'm going to continue drawing in some cells now, just to demonstrate how quick and easy this process can be once you get a bit of practice with it. I'm just going to draw out this brush. Again, we're only using one brush per cell, which makes it far easier for the engine to work out which brush belongs to which cell, etc. That's another good reason to do it, just helps the engine along a bit. We're going to apply our crucial portal texture, and then we're going to come in here, and in this portion here I'm going to think about angles slightly. I'm going to think about whether the player can see from this angle, say for example. Can we possibly adjust that for better culling? I think we can, and this is pretty much the basics of what you have to do when you're portaling your map. Just think about the player, think about angles, think about where you can see. It does help looking from the top down sometimes, but let's just finish this portal cell. Add another one in here, maybe drag that up there, extend this down here, and then we've got an angled portal face going away from us from this direction. Make sure you apply the portal texture properly. And you just carry on building just like that, and it really is that quick and simple. And if you come across an adjustment, again, so simple case of just grabbing the edge tool. You don't have to worry about fixing several brushes, you can just worry about the one brush. And that is the beauty of this technique. It really is fantastic and simple, and it just really makes the whole process a lot easier. So we're going to carry on now, and then we're going to talk about split level portaling, because it's far easier again. No need to worry about T-junctions. Hopefully those will be the thing of the past using this technique as well. So it's a winner all round. I've already taken the liberty of adding our portals into this area, and I've also done the split level portal. If I just highlight that there, you can see what's going on. With the split level portal, we've got a situation over here where the player gets to a different vantage point or different level to our portals down here, and we can aid culling from this position if we add a portal brush in like this. And the rules for this are pretty simple. There's a brush underneath here that already has the portal texture applied to the top face, so building this cell on top, we have to make sure that it's the same shape or design as the one underneath, otherwise you may get leakage problems when you try to compile. So make sure that the two brushes that make up this raised portal are the same dimensions. If you do get confused, however, to which face to apply the portal texture to, simply put, if a face of your portal brush is completely against a structural brush, like it is here, or it's above another portal cell with the portal texture already applied to it, then that face does not need to have the portal texture applied to it. It's only the exposed faces that need the portal texture applied to it. That is split level portaling. That's portaling in general, and of course, again, the beauty of this design is if we need to change anything, we only need to change one brush for each cell, not 4 or 5. Just one single brush, and that's the beauty of this technique. It's fantastic. It works in every single possible way better than the shall we call it the traditional 8-unit brush, and that's why we brought you this tutorial for you. It's just a fantastic way to do outdoor portals. So we're going to move on now, and we're going to take a look at a more complicated situation, and for that we're going to take a look at a map for COD4. It's a custom map made by Cold Air, or Air Rakik. It's the Nuketown remake from Black Ops, and he's been gracious enough to give us permission to take a look at that as an example of a more complicated situation. So thank you very much to him for that. Let's take a look. So here we are in COD4 with Cold Air's version of Nuketown. I worked on this map alongside him for just strictly doing portaling. So thanks again for letting us show this for the tutorial. At the moment I've got the portals filtered out, but if I filter them back in, you can see the process that it's gone through. If I just take a look up above, it looks extremely complex from up here, but I can assure you that the I've tried to keep these cells to the bare minimum, but also culling as much of the map as possible from various different angles, and that's what it's all about, really. It really is like trying to build a puzzle without having a picture of what it's meant to look like. You've just got to angle the cells as best as possible, and it really just takes a bit of practice, but eventually you'll crack it, and it'll be so much easier, especially using the technique we've just shown. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the portaling tutorial for this time around. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you've got any questions, make sure to join up to the mappersunited.com forums and ask questions anything you like. And that pretty much brings us to the end. Thanks guys. Cheers.